Hello everyone, Johnny here. Today in this session, we will try to learn about how to use Google Maps using JavaScript. We will try to learn how to add markers, how to add a pop-up box, and how to change the text of a pointer. In this session, we will try to use Google API in order to get these maps. For this, just you need to open your browser, open your Chrome browser, and write Google Maps JavaScript or API. Once you click on this, you will be able to see some snippet here. In the sense, when you type Google Maps JavaScript API, you will be getting the list of code here. Here it will try to tell you you need to add some billing account. No need of this. You just need to have a Gmail account and you just sign in and you can get this page. Here we should able to display something, a map like this. For this, here the code is already given like HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And today we will try to solve to implement this logic. Let me copy the snippet. I have copied the snippet. I'm just trying to replace this. Here we are trying to use this simple map, the code which we have copied from here. Now let me write some title here. Here the next line is polyfills. Polyfills is generally used for the old browsers. In order to support the old browsers, as of now, like we are not implementing a project here, we can just remove it. We can just erase it. And next one, we have in the line number 6 to line number 9, we have a script tag. In this script tag, it is asking you to provide some API key here. We will try to learn how to generate an API key and implement using this. So let me erase this also. So let me put this part at the end of page. Here differ keyword indicates it should able to run or execute the script tag once the complete HTML has loaded. So for this I'm just trying to place it at the end of the page in order to make sure that it looks good. And once the DOM has been loaded, it will try to load the script part. And we are trying to use some external CSS here and external JS. So in this session I will try to use internal JS, and next one we are trying to use some CSS part here. CSS style.css. So this is how we got as of now. Now from this, let me copy the CSS part. I'm just trying to copy the CSS part here. Sorry, you can just copy this. I'm just trying to place it here. Next one, I have something called a JS code here. I have some JS code here. See, for suppose if I have done this, I have copied this, and from the JS I'm trying to copy this one, and let me place below script tag. We can use external JS also. Here I'm trying to use internal JS. Now we can see here, we will try to understand about the each and every line what this snippet is doing. What this snippet is doing. If you can see here, we have the snippet here. In this, if you can see, let me elaborate this. Okay, so this is the snippet we have. This is a snippet we have. Now it is very clear, like the indentation part and everything. Here if you can see, this is the code we have copied from JavaScript, CSS and HTML. Now for suppose if I'm trying to open the output in the browser, can you see some output? Nothing is able to display because we haven't used any API here. In order to use API, these are the steps which we need to follow. Just sign in your Google account. And write console cloud google.com. Just go to this platform. Here we need to create a project. Let me create a new project for you. In this, we should be able to create a new project here. So earlier I have created a sample maps here. I'm just trying to create a new project. The project name is simple map, and I'm just trying to create it here. I have created. In this, Once you have see it is getting loaded, first step we need to go to cloud console.cloud.google.com. then you need to create a project. Once the project has been created, you can just click on it. You can view the information of it, like simple view and everything. In this we should able to make sure that after selecting the project, because earlier it was a sample map, now it is a simple map. I have selected my project. Can you see here? I have selected simple map. Now in this we should able to add the APIs, the libraries, the following libraries. First one, I would like to add Google JavaScript API. So I want to add JavaScript API. So if you have any APIs with this name, it will try to list out here. So here it is. So I'm just trying to click on it. Once I have clicked on it, it will ask us to enable. Yes, you need to click on enable. So whatever the APIs you want to place, you can just search in this product bar for the particular project. Make sure that the project is the same what you are trying to do. Next one, I have got about Google. Now I want to get about Google Place API. See, we can use any number of APIs. I'm trying to use Google Place API. Enable it. Next one, if I want to get some directions also, based upon the APIs what you read, you just need to click on it. Direction API. I have clicked on this. For the particular project you just need to enable it. This is completely for the beginners who are new to this API, how to use it. Geolocation. Click on geolocation. Once you have clicked on this geolocation, you just need to enable it. So whatever the APIs you required for the location or for the particular thing, you just need to search in it and you can use the particular APIs. So in this, if I want to use the API link here, can you see here it is asking your API key here. So for this reason you just need to click on credentials. Just click on credentials. In your dashboard, just click on credentials. Once you have clicked on these credentials, see there is nothing able to display here. So in this we should able to go once navigate or else navigate to APIs. Wait, yes, once it is done, okay, now we got, see for the credentials, if you click on the, once again, let me overcome, you need to click on this credentials in API and services, create credentials, API key here. What are the key you want to enter it here, it will be generated from here. Click on API key. Once you have clicked on it, see we got it. You can just copy it and close it, or else if you have forgot, like where did you say for the particular project, for the key it will be here, you can just copy it. You no need to remember that API key. Now it is done. Now for suppose I'm trying to use the same page, can you see here now? Can you see here we got a map, as it is, like how we got it here, we got the same thing map here. Now for suppose if I want to make sure I want to reduce the size and height of it, we can use this thing, we can use this part. In this I'm trying to write the CSS code for it. I'm just trying to write width and height as 70, percentage. Now if you can see this, we got 70 and 70. Okay, now we got, for suppose if I want to change the location of it, for example I want to change the location of it, you know how to generate an API key now. Just store the same API key here and you can just see the map loading perfectly now. For example, I want to make sure I want to change the location of the particular thing. How we can change? Here we have something called Google Map document.getElementById and center latitude and longitude. What is use of this latitude and longitude? For example, if I want to change my location, now my present location is Bongir. I just want to write this locations, so you can just edit it here, like see 17.5 17.50, 17.50, next one 78.88. I'm just trying to write the locations because we doesn't know exact locations, so I have just to use the Google coordinates. Now if you can see here, I got the exact location of Bongir. We got exact location of Bongir. Here if you can see, we have changed the latitude and longitude values. Here we can also change the values to 1, 5, 10, 15 and 20. What does it mean? In the documentation part, if you can scroll down, you can see the things like this. If you can just scroll it down, you can see 1 for the world, 5 for the land masses, 10 for the cities, 15 for streets and 20 for buildings. For suppose if I have written zoom level equals to, I want to write some code as 10. I just want to write the code as 10. If I have written the code as 10, can you see here? It is able to zoom. For suppose if I have written the code as 20. If I have written the code as 20, can you see? We got the buildings also. Can you see? We got the buildings. For suppose if I see Hyderabad, Jangam, everything is written here. Now for suppose if I want to get the same thing in the form of streets, I can use 15. You got 15 here. You got 15 here. You got 15. So this is how we have done with the zoom level. We have changed the location and we have increased the zoom level also. For suppose I just want to take here as 5 only as of now. Let me take 5. You got it? Let me take 8, 10. 10 is best as of now for the particular city. So we got the particular city now. For suppose we have changed about how to use the location, how to change the location, how to change the zoom level, If we can see in this API, can you see something called Init Map? What is the use of Init Map here? Init Map, it is just like a callback. Inside this we are trying to write, for example, see the same, whatever the Init Map here it is, the same function we are trying to write it here in the line number 18. So this Init Map is like a callback function, where in this we have a variable called map, and it is trying to set to the map object, In this map object we are trying to pass where we need to display this map as well as the Google Map location. Where we are trying to display this document.getElementById of map here we are trying to display, so that it try to display in this body part. We are trying to use a DOM getElementById, where it is trying to read this ID based upon it, and here it is trying to display this complete thing, that is the location of it and all. For suppose if I want to change the label of it, then we can use this. Suppose I want to write like this. I just want to write map. Next thing, I just want to write a label here. I just want to write J. Next one, I don't want to write title as Bongir. We are trying to write the title as Bongir. So if we can see in this code, I'm just trying to refresh. See here. If you can see here, we are trying to get the thing. We are not getting it. So let me write or else for this the same snippet. We will try to write some marker, or else it is not able to display, right? So let me put the same thing in the marker. We can use a Google marker also, where it will try to point it out. So instead of this we can also use like mapTypeId also. mapTypeId equal to, for example, I have written terrain. We can write satellite also. We have written terrain here. So can you see? We got this. For suppose in this, if I want to place some marker over it, I want to point out this location and I want to place a marker. So then we can write something like this: Google dot maps dot marker. We will try to elaborate about each and every line what we are trying to write now. Here I just want to copy the same snippet what we have done just now. Here in this we are trying to use this position. We are trying to use this position here. The position is the map which we are trying to point out, the location Bongir. Now we got. Can you see here what is J here? J is the label here. For example, if I have written what is the title here? Bongir. When I am trying to place my cursor over it, it is trying to point it out. Can you see? J is the label and Bongir is the title here. For suppose if I want to change the icon, for example, if you can see here the icon is in red color, right? I want to change the icon to this thing. Then also we can do it. How we can do? We can just write icon. What is the image here? map.png. If we can see, it is not able to load, right, image. Okay, now it is not able to load. Let me take in the form of this. We got it, but it is like, if you can see here, this is overloaded. In the sense, the image height has been overloaded for this image. So better we will take the same default icon. You can also increase the height and width of it also. Now for suppose if I want to make sure the image the pointer to be draggable, if I want the pointer to be draggable, if you can see here the pointer is somewhere here, right? See, I am able to drag this pointer also, but we will never use this dragger. We will always set it to false. Now next one, in this we can also apply the animation for this pointer. For example, we can also use animation for this pointer. Animation google.maps.animation.bounce. When I have used this, if you can see, can you see here the delta has been the pointer has been bouncing it out. For suppose if I have used a drop, so we can use any of the properties, drop. See, we can find all the things in this documentation. So whatever the API you are trying to learn, you can just go through that API and you will find out all the methods, implementation parts which are required in order to make it more attractive, like the features of the particular concept in APIs. You can just go through this documentation, you will find everything. So here we have used thing also. Now first thing we have done with inside the ID map, we are trying to display a map for initially. We know how to generate an API key here. You just need to go to google.console.cloud, where you need to create a project. Once you have created a project, you just need to add the APIs and enable it. After that, you just need to click on the credentials. Once you have clicked on the credentials, it will try to show the list of this thing. You just need to click on API key. Once it has been clicked, you will automatically generate a API key. That API key you need to copy here in this place. Once it is done, we can see here some init map. This init map is that same thing which we are trying to use this as a callback, where it has first one, it is a variable. Map is a variable which defines the property of this map. Here the map is a variable which defines the property of the map. Next one, here we have used a property called center. It specifies where to center the map, that is using a latitude and longitude. Using latitude and longitude, it will try to specify how to center the map. Next one is zoom level. In this zoom level, it specifies the zoom level for the map. For example, we have the different zoom levels here. If you can see, go through this documentation, we have different zoom levels, 1, 5, 10, 15 and 20. So we have also applied those zoom levels. Next one, map ID, we can use satellite, terrain and the different properties. In this we have used map ID. Now this one we are trying to display, this map we are trying to display it here in the line number 8 using this getElementById. The complete properties has been displayed here. If you don't use the API, the map will not be displayed. Next one, here we are trying to use, next thing we are trying to use something called a marker. Marker is a constructor here which creates a marker, in the sense which creates this Google marker. In this first one we have set a position, like what is the position we have taken. Next one, we have applied a map, what is the map we are, for which map we are trying to apply. Next one, we are trying to use an icon here. We have set an icon with a large icon. If you are, you can also increase and decrease the height of this map icon also. Next one, we have used something called title. Next one, a label, title and a label. Next one, draggable false, in the sense we cannot drag this. See, instead earlier when we were trying to drag this, it is able to move. Now we have set the value to false, so we cannot drag it. Next one, we have used a property of animation here, drop and bounce. We can also use any other properties. As we have used drop here, it is trying to use in this way. So this is how we have done with a simple Google Map API. So if you have any queries in this also, you can just comment below this video or drop us a mail. For any queries in this coding part, you can just use this email ID anytime, and you will find the complete JavaScript tutorial sessions for the beginners in the description part related to this concept. Thank you.